let's do my makeup to get ready with me to go somewhere. It's just gonna be a really light makeup while I talk about a story that happened, and it's my dance story. Last night I did my gymnastics story. Today is dance. So I was around 7, or no, I was around 8 whenever I started dance. I liked it at first, but then I started not liking it that much. So I told my grandma, because she was the one who signed me up for it. And she was like, well, I don't care, you're gonna do it till the end of this month. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then that month goes by, and I'm still doing dance. I didn't really like dance at all. Got to the point where I was crying before every dance class that I had. And it was just really sad. I really hated it. So I'm glad I don't do it anymore. But so my teacher, she knew me. She used to teach my aunt. So like I know her. She was one of the first people to hold me. So like yeah, she was pretty nice, but it started to the point where she was starting to get really rude to me and like not treating me like all the other kids in my class. Starting to treat me differently, and I did not like that at all. And so I told her about it, and she was like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Just because I didn't put you in the front doesn't mean you need to fuss. And I wasn't fussing. I was literally all the way in the back, like all the way in the back. So she was just like really nice to me at first, started to become rude. I was like, okay, well maybe you should just, that's too much blush. Maybe she just was not, like, maybe she wasn't feeling good that day. Maybe she was just a little bit grumpy. So I come in the next day, she's acting the same. This goes on for another about month. So I tell my Gigi. She was like, well, you're probably just overreacting, because I know her. She would never do anything like that. Like, just stop overreacting. And I was like, okay, I guess. Maybe I was just overreacting. But this goes on for now 2 months. And she just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So I eventually say I don't want to do dance anymore. My mama or my Gigi was like, well, I don't even care, you're still doing it. So that's whenever I started crying. Like every dance lesson, I would cry. I would go home in tears. It got to the point where I would just like tell my mom, like, so I told my mom about it. She was like, okay, you don't have to do dance no more. But my Gigi was like, well, I don't care what your mom says. I'm the one who signed you up. You're doing it. And I was like, well, I shouldn't have to do something that you want me to do. So then, eventually, I do stop doing dance. But then, my sister starts. I have to go to all my sisters' rehearsals, all my sisters' dancing, all my sisters' game, all my sisters' like rehearsals, all that stuff. So I'm like always at the studio. So it's like if I quit, I have to still be there with my sister. So like I got to the point where I was like, Mom, can I please just stay home with you or go to work with you? She was like, yeah, that's fine, sweetheart. And I am so glad my mom let me do that, because it was getting to the point where my sister had classes every single day. Like whenever I was doing it, I only had classes every other day. So like she was having it every single day. And it always had to be there. So it's like, so I was so thankful for my mom. So I eventually stopped. My sister eventually stops because we were both doing softball. And then my Gigi says, well, you're going to start pageants. And it's like a 2-in-1 also, like dance going into pageants. So I did one pageant. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. She makes me get now she makes me get tans. She's making me leave school. I'm not in school anymore, guys, but she made me leave school just to go try on dresses. And I was like, I'm not happy with this. And neither was my parents. It got to the point where they took her off my pickup list. So now she's not on my pickup list anymore. And I am so thankful because she was always so rude. Always so rude. So then I start pageants. She's really, really rude to me. Like, really rude to me, guys. Like, extremely rude to me. So get to the point where I tell my mom again. She starts coming to all my pageants. And then I tell her, why haven't you been coming to any of my other pageants? She says, well, I've been getting caught up at work. And I've been telling her, well, that's okay. Maybe you can come to this one. And she was like, yeah, of course. Anything for my baby. So then she comes. She sees how rude my Gigi is treating me. And then she starts saying, you cannot treat my daughter like that. You better stop before I call, like, the services to get you in jail. But that's a story for another time, guys. So, like, she was like, you better stop treating my daughter like this. If you continue, I will have you, like, arrested. So I told my mom, see what I have to go through at every pageant. And she was like, yeah, sweetie, I'm so sorry. I tell her, well, it's okay. You didn't know. This is highlighter, guys. So, like, eventually she stops. Eventually she stops. My mom starts coming to all my pageants. Thank gosh. You're the tune, yeah. Okay, sorry guys. I keep having to fix that one side. I keep putting too much flesh there. So I keep having to put foundation on top of it. Yeah, so I tell her to stop. She's like, okay. She stops. Doesn't happen again. It doesn't happen again. So, okay, I need to do one more thing. So, like, it finally stops. She's somewhat nice to me. We move. So happy. So we're finally not living with her anymore. I'm happily doing softball. And softball is really fun. So, like, I'm really happy about it. That was a really bad mess up. it's okay. So, like, I'm finally really happy. Yeah, I don't like this lipstick. Or this lip gloss. So, are you doing that? But continuing with the story. So as I was saying, she kept being really rude. And I was like, okay, well, can you please stop? It's really hurting my feelings. She was like, I'll think about it. So we move. I think I already said that, I think I already said we moved. So yeah, I'm really happy in softball. It's a really, really fun activity. Me and my sister are both doing it. So then she starts saying, well, you're still gonna do pageants. And I'm saying, how am I gonna manage that? And she was like, I don't care, find a way. So I say, okay, whatever. I don't care at this point. So I continue doing it. Eventually, this stops. We move out, not living with her anymore. But yeah. So I am now happily living with my stepdad and my mom, and then like I'm doing on and off with my stepmom, or with my mom and my dad. So I haven't seen my Gigi in a while. Haven't talked to her. So I'm really happy. So I think that's it. Wait, no, there's one last part and one more thing that I need. My mascara. Okay. So she finally calls me after about a year. She finally calls me. I am still really upset about what she said to me. Because anytime I would go over there, like, see my crabs, well, my cousin's crabs, she would never talk to me at all. So, like, she was just really toxic, really rude. Okay, so she was just really toxic and really rude. So that's everything that I wanted to tell you guys. So I think that is it, guys. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.